Okay, I've started the recording. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. I am Jamila Jordan, your host tonight. We would like to welcome you all here to the Commitment Cycle. I've already muted everyone, so you don't have to worry about that. The phones are muted. And if you haven't heard about the Commitment Circle, it's kind of like SUSU. If those of you who don't know what SUSU is, it's like a savings group that they have done. It originated in West Africa and it's been practiced in the Caribbean and African countries for years. They've always had a group of individuals, sometimes it's single moms or those who don't really have an abundance of cash on hand to get them to where they need to be. They will put money in a pot and they will schedule a date for where everybody will get a payout from the money that they put in the pot. And usually it's enough for them to do whatever it is that they need to do with it, maybe start a business or get a little bit financially ahead in life. They do it in the Arabic and communities. They do it in the Asians communities. If you see any of them living together, then next thing you know, they got either wash house, car wash, liquor stores on every corner. What they are doing is they're putting their money together and everybody is stacking and they're pushing one family member out at a time. Well, this is kind of what we do here with the Commitment Circle. We instead of one person getting paid at one scheduled time, it's seven individuals getting paid at once, and it's over time. So you will start off with $100, and over the cycles, over time, over the next 5 to 6 weeks, I am determined to get it down to stay on task where everybody is getting paid weekly. It's going to take a little time to do that. It takes a little bit of time of letting people get a little bit comfortable with the situation or the process. I'm sure that everyone has, or someone knows someone that has done something like this and it didn't turn out well for them. Well, we want to take what happened then, take that out of our minds and throw it away, because that's not what that's not the community or the environment that we're going to promote here. We're here strategically working together in the Black community, trying to elevate each and every one of you on this call and the ones that are currently going through the Commitment Circle process as well. How do you get started? Someone should have invited you to this Zoom, or they probably invited you to the Telegram chat and asked you to read the materials around there. But someone should have invited you. And when they invite you, they ask that you invite one person or as many people as you like. And once you find yourself going through this process, you will learn that I'm gonna invite one person, but I know more people who can financially gain from this that are mature, that have a like mind, and who can fit in this community and that I trust, that can gain from this, and you will invite them too. And then what you will do is ask the people that you invited to invite one person. And what happens is they end up inviting more people because they see more people can benefit. Now, this isn't the opportunity for those who are just looking for a quick come up. It's not an overnight quick get rich scam. It's literally a community trying to build one another up so that we can financially get the things that we want or position ourselves to be financially where we want to go. So once you invite somebody, your one person invites somebody, the process continues. It's a pattern. And then you have a team of individuals that will work together to help you build your boards, to help you close your boards. Now, you ask, what does that mean? I will explain that in detail a little bit further down the line. There were slides that will go into detail, but what happens or how do you join? You also have to be prepared to gift $100 once. You're only going to use your money one time during this process. Any other money that is made or that is gained or you're being blessed with and you have to re-gift, because there is a regifting process in here as well. That's why we ask for like-minded, mature individuals to join this circle. And if you're bringing your young adults, this is the great time to teach them how to be responsible and how to have integrity and learn some things that can take them a lot further in life. So you gift one time to the current board that you're on once it has closed, and usually gifting is done by Sunday 12 noon. Depending on when the boards close, it could be sooner. And if the board has gone past Sunday and your board is off schedule, once the board closed, you will have 24 hours to gift. Now, if you invited somebody, they're on there. If the person invited somebody, we try to keep track of who invited who. We want to hold these people accountable for who have made a commitment to be a part of this process. It is an awesome experience. It can definitely position you where you want to be. Everybody has struggled or had some type of effect due to the COVID season this year. This is your time to bounce back and have an amazing end of the year and holiday with your family and your friends. It's simple math. So if you do the math, it becomes very simple. It's a 7x8 matrix, which is 56. And if you count the core 7, which is probably one of the individuals that originally invited somebody that you know or invited you to the board, it's a total of 63 people on the board. And if each core person on the board invites, brought 8 people, they would have 56 people. Or one person, they would have 56 people on the board. If you see the description or the picture over to the right of the screen, it'll show you that each core 7 brings 1, that's 7. A new person brings 7 each, and that one, that's 14 on down to 56. Now, most boards that you've probably been invited to usually ask you to come in with 2 people, and sometimes the cost is $500, sometimes the cost is $1,400, whatever it may be, there's a cost, and you come in as the fire, water, or you move to the water, the earth, or the freshmen, sophomore, seniors. There's so many different examples on how this process works, but we're only asking you to bring 1 or as many people as you like. What do you need, or what tools are needed for you to be successful? Telegram. Telegram is very, very important. If you invite somebody that does not have Telegram, please go ahead and send them a link so that they can download Telegram. If they don't have Telegram, they will not know what's going on. They will be completely lost, and they will have tons of questions. We are all available for questions in the groups, but they will not get the full understanding of how this process works if they don't have Telegram and if they have not been on one of these Zoom calls. You need your cell phone, because you can't have a Telegram without having the cell phone, and maybe a notepad just to keep track of everybody that you've invited and the people that they've invited, so that when questions come about who invited who, you know who to reference or who to point the direction to for them to get in contact with. Pixie is for those who decide they want to help upload the names on the board. I do not personally use Pixie. I've used Over, Phonoto, and Canvas. I found Canvas to be the most easiest because I'm able to go back and make changes and move around when I need to without it being complicated. How are we gifted? Well, once you come in, the first week is just the gifting period. You don't receive any money this week. You will gift $100, and then the next week, the people that you brought in will gift $100, and you will receive $800. So you will receive $100 from 8 people. What you then do is the person that you've gifted your $100 to, you will then re-gift $500 to them, keeping $300. So then that next week, when the next board fills, those people came in that gifted, they will gift their person $100, and those $800 will, those $800, I would go look. Is somebody not muted? Okay. So, and then when those, so let me go back. You come in, you gift your $100. The next week, you're going to be gifted $100 from 8 people, and that will be $800. You're going to re-gift $500 to the person that you gave $100 to. Then the next week, you're going to be re-gifted $500 from your person, because they're now getting $800. So you will have $4,000, because 5 people would have given you 500. 8 people would have given you 500. So when you get the 4,000, you re-gift 2,500, and you keep 1,500. And then the week after that, you're re-gifted 20,000. You're going to re-gift 6,000, and the person is going to end up with 48,000. So in your fifth week, you don't give anybody anything. You're just receiving. So at the end of it, you will have received 63,800 in total. This will sound so much more simpler at the end of this presentation. This is probably one of the slides I will probably redo, but it's all a matrix system. 1 week you're coming in, you give your $100, and then from week 2 to 5, you are being paid if the weeks stay on track. The goal is to invite as many people as you know. We only require 1 person, but to invite as many people as you know to get these spots filled, at least within a week, so that we can close the boards and everyone will begin their gifting process and receiving process. Who gifts and how is the flower split? So today it wants to act up. So if you notice, this board kind of right here looks like some of the boards you've seen in the past where they have fire, wind, earth, and water. We will not use the wind and earth. You will only either be a fire. So those of you in that yellow spot and behind will be fires. That will be anybody that is on this call that has not accepted or secured a spot on the board. You will be considered fires. If you're already on the board, currently, you are water. If your board has closed and you're being re-gifted, you're still water because you're still receiving a blessing. So the goal is to fill this entire board up with fires so that we're all gifted, or we all make it to the water spot at some point. The board is broken up into 8 sections. There is 7 individuals that complete or make up a core, and there's 8 of them. So each core will have 1 fire, which is the yellow, or 1 yellow, 2 orange, and 4 greens. That's in every section. So once this board is filled, it will break away, and the yellows will have it will be 7 of them together. So it'll be 8 groups of 7. It will make more sense in the next slide. The color significance. Yellow is usually what we call the leader of the board. That does not mean you control everything, but the board splits and it becomes the board is titled after your name. You don't have to be the only person working the board. You will have help and support from the orange and the green. However, yellows are typically strong individuals. The yellow are the ones who typically keep the group going. Sometimes you do get yellows that do not do that, but you have 6 other people in there that is working for the same common goal to get the board closed. So you work together. So yellow, you lead the board, or you should be leading the board. Orange, you support the leader. Green supports orange and the yellow leadership position. So you're working together as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Of course, when I first came in, I was a yellow. Which my friend thought very highly of me and thought that I can get the job done. And I did. We've been successful. So now I'm in a yellow. So if you end up in a yellow spot, you will probably see me for the next 5 to 6 weeks, however long it takes for us to cycle and move to the end of the course to receiving our 48,000. You will see me in each group because I'm there to make sure you get the help that you need, the support that you need, to show you how to update the boards if needed. I'm there for support. You will see some of the orange other core group members in your group. Those of you who you regift or you've gifted to or being gifted, we will be there to support you. So we're not inviting you here to leave you and let you figure it out by yourself. It's a lot of steps. It's a lot of information. You probably won't fully understand how the process works until you see or hear this presentation more than once. But we tell you, do not let that distract you or deter you from securing a spot on the board. You do not want to wait and miss out on your spot. The sooner you get in, the sooner you can get off. We want to get these boards filled so that we can actually get on schedule for going for 2 to 5 weeks of being paid. The first week is just a resting period for those of you coming in. It's your gifting week. So we call this board the real estate. And we say that because Earth, or the core 7 that comes in, that has a board, sections 1 through 8, that's your real estate. If you don't put bodies in those spots, your land is going to be vacant. Your property is empty and you get no money. Everybody suffers if the boards does not close. So it's not like one person that is not affected by it. And don't think that just the people on your board is not affected by it. If these boards are not filled with bodies, there's no money to circulate to help the pot grow or to increase your financial freedom. You can't do it. You have to have bodies. So if you get people say, oh, I'm going to sit back and wait till you get paid first, that's fine. But who are you going to put in these spots so that you can get this board moving and so you can get the boards closed? Because if they wait for you and you're just sitting there waiting for the boards to close, you can't close without there's nobody coming unless you invite them. And the board is not going to magically close and money's going to magically appear for you to be able to say, oh, I got my first payout. No, you actually need to close this board with 56 people on it. Now, there's going to be some times where some people hustle harder a little than others. And you know, that's just like with your current job. When you're on a project at work, there's somebody who does more work than the other. But guess what? At the end of the day, if the work doesn't get done, nobody gets paid. And here, if the spots don't get filled, we don't get paid. And the people before you don't get paid, and the people before them don't get paid. So we're all here to make sure the process and none of these boards die so that everybody can see it to the end and know that this is a system that can generate a substantial amount of money for you. If it's worked right, you work as a team and be a great team player. Does it get frustrating at times? It does. It doesn't get, don't let that be the deterring factor saying no, or let that be a negative thought in your mind. It can be fun and it can be whatever you make it. So let me explain a little section. So you have section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you see in section 1 and 2, there's 2 fires right next to each other. Now, the fire in section 1, when this board is closed, they will gift the yellow in the middle that's titled water. So let's say I was in the water, and I'm gonna pick a name I see on the screen, Danielle was in the fire on section 1. When that board closed, Danielle would gift there. Once the gifting list is up, she would look to see what my gifting method is, if it's Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever she have, and she would gift me. Then you would have 2 orange in section 1. There's 2 orange in section 2. There's 2 oranges in section 8. And there's 2 oranges in section 7. 1, 2, 8, and 7 orange gives earth at the top. Fires in 1, 2, 7, and 8 gives water. If you look at 6, 5, 4, and 3, the oranges that land in those areas will gift earth at the bottom, and the fires that land in those areas will gift still the middle, water. And it's the same with the greens, which are the winds. A little, yep, it's the same. So section 1 and 2 gives, those greens give wind on the right, that's in that section for 1 and 2. And then you see wind in the section pointing to group 7 and 8. Those greens gift that wind. Everybody gift to say, it'll be a name there, and they will have a Cash App, Venmo, you would gift that person. And at the bottom, you have a wind on the left and a wind on the right. Right wind is gifted by section 3 and 4 greens. The left wind is gifted by section 6 and 5. That is your real estate core 7. You want to make sure you put reliable individuals in these spots to make sure that everybody understands what the process is once this board is closed. The breakdown. Let's see. I'm about to take all of it. Okay, so you have the core 7. This just gives you a better picture of how it looks. If you look to the core 7, the pie picture, you see your core 7 in the middle, and the sections are broken off. So if we didn't have those lines and we didn't have those dots there, this is exactly what the board would look like. There will be 7 individuals in 1, and then 7 individuals in pie 2, all the way around to 8. That will total out to be 56 people. And if you include your core 7, that's 63 people. That's what the middle diagram shows. Remember, whoever your core 7 is, when you're filling your board, that board is closed, that is your core 7 for the next 5 weeks or 6 weeks, however long it takes for you to close those boards. Week 1 and week 2 should be your most difficult weeks. You're in there waiting for a board to be closed so you can gift, and then you're waiting again for your board to be closed so you can be gifted. And then the fun starts because now you're watching them close in their boards so they can re-gift you. So you're just sitting back collecting money week 3, 4, and 5, or either 6. But the person that you gift coming in is the person that you re-gift. Each week it's time to give money. You're not gonna pick a new person. You're not gonna meet a new person. It's gonna be the same person. The only way that person will change is if that person's spot got bought out. And that only happens if they get to a point in this and they say, oh, I don't think this is gonna work. I wanna give up my spot. But I don't know anybody that's gonna get to week 4 where you got $4,000 and you got to re-gift the $2,500 and you decide you don't want to do it no more when you know you have $48,000 riding on the table. That would be absolutely crazy. Don't know anybody? And if you do, God bless you. We will fill a flower of 63. 7 people of the flower has already been filled. If you're wondering how will we do this, it's very simple. The core 7 has started the flower off for you. They'll bring in 7, 1, that will be 7, and their new people will bring in 7, which is 1 each, that's 14. Their new will bring in 1. Those 7 will bring in 1. Those 7 will bring in 1, all the way until the board is filled to 56. Can it be done? Yes. I have one board that started, I believe it was Friday when we started. They will probably close today or tomorrow. Their board is rolling. So it just depends on how you work together. I say get a group of, if you have relatives and family, bring them in the groups of 7 so you can be a core 7. That way you move forward with your family. It can be a family and friends thing that can circle around more than once. And I see there's questions in the chat. I can't see it right now because I'm presenting. I'll get to them at the end. If somebody else is on here that can answer them, that would be awesome. So if you just bring in one person and everybody does that on the board, or 2 people, and sometimes you have people who say, I don't know anybody. I don't talk to anybody, even though we know that's not the truth because you go to work, you have kids, or you have sisters, cousins. Maybe they're not a great fit for this program, but if you have a social media and you put up a picture and people like your picture, whether you know those people or not, we're gonna have to learn how to step outside of our comfort zone and start inboxing them and ask them if you can show them a way where they can compound their money. Would they be interested in watching? But then you have your core 7 that will work because they want to get this board closed as well to help you get to the next level, or to help you close the board so that you can get your money going. How are we gifted? You can choose to use whatever gifting form that you want. If it's Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, it's whatever works for you. This person here, yes.
Okay.
Can we mute? So when it's time to gift, you will gift $100 to the person that whose color coordinate with your color. There will be a list that will explain that in the group that you're placed in. So everyone that is on this call should be in a group, whether in the group probably is titled either Ron 63K, Marcus 63K, Buddy Love 63K. There's a ton of groups going on right now with 63K. If you're gifting, those lists will go up once the board is closed. As you make your payments, you will be required to screenshot, send the payment to show us that you've completed that, and your name will be checked off the list. As you will see to the left of this screen here, all of us, I'm even on this list, we will re-gift Twarnisha each time we're gifted. So Cash App has a limit. Sometimes I believe they limit will tell you you could only receive, I think it's 2,500 a day or something like that, or send out 2,500 a day. There's a certain limit that they allow you to send per week. I haven't done it yet, but I am tonight. When I get off the phone, I will place in all of the groups that belong to me. The way that you go in there and request for Cash App to increase your sending amount. Because if you begin to send over the limit, at some point, it's not that they think that you're a fraud. They've never seen that amount of transaction happen simultaneously in your account. They will close your account down and it will take longer for you to get your money. So to prevent that, you might want to just go ahead and increase your limits unless you already have a Cash App that's already increased and you've been using it, sending and transferring or wiring multiple amount of money, then you're good. I know a lot of questions get asked about what about taxes? Well, as a tax provider, I can let you know that you can gift up to $15,000 per person without paying taxes on that. Once you go above $15,000, there is a form that you have to fill out, and does not mean that you will have to pay taxes on it. I believe once you go out of, once you hit like 11,000 or 11 million point four, something like that, at some point, that's when you start having to pay taxes. On it, it's just a 15,000 and under per person, you don't have to pay any taxes on. So it's tax-free money. The person that's receiving can receive money as a gift from multiple people in the amount of 15,000. So you should be good. So how does a week, how does it work? What you'll be taking in and sending out, just a recap of that. In week 1, you will not receive anything. You will send out $100 once the board is closed and all of the spots are filled. You will keep nothing. In week 2, you're going to receive $800. That's $100 from each of the 8 people that are going to be tied to you for the next 2 to 5 weeks. You will send out $500 back to the person that you gave $100 to, and you will keep $300. Week 3, you're going to receive $4,000, and you're going to re-gift that same person you gave $100 to. You're going to give them $2,500, and you will keep $1,500. In week 4, you're going to receive $20,000, and you're going to do the same thing for the same person that you gave the $100 to. This time, you're giving them $6,000. Keeping $14,000. Week 5, you get $48,000. You're not sending anybody anything. You get to keep that. Celebrate. Congratulations. You made it through the end of the cycle. It's 5 weeks. You have taken in over the last 5 weeks 72,800. You've sent out 9,100, and you get to keep 63,800. Sounds like a win to me. Please do not get to week 4 and say, "Ooh, I don't want to send this 6,000." It does not benefit you nor the person that you made a commitment to, because the goal is to get to the end and to see the 48,000. If I know that I'm going to get 48,000, there's no need for me to even worry about not sending that 6,000, because I can't wait for the next week because I get to celebrate big. Now you have enough money to go do what you want to do with that amount of money. So we're done with the presentation, and I will go into opening up for questions. If you have any questions, just go ahead and unmute yourself, and we can go from there. Does anybody have questions? No questions?
I'll raise my hand.
Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Question 1, Jamila, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Anita.
Hey, Mama Anita.
Hi, sweetie. Only question I have is, how do you get past that individual that think it's a scam? After you've explained all this to them and they still feel it's a scam. I've managed to do it, but every time I've done it, I've changed my verbiage, or I've changed my script. I want to know something strong I can use to say this is not a scam.
I don't even know if there's a script that you can give somebody whose mind is that close to think that it's a scam.
Yes.
I always tell somebody that if you can afford to go buy lotto tickets because the pot is big and you're playing the lotto, you can afford to bet $100 on to see yourself with $63,000 over the next 5 weeks.
Right.
If you play bingo, you can take $100 of that bingo winning. It's $100. I'm sure, I don't know what your situation is, another person's situation is. If the person that brought you here and you trust them, if they're doing it, you know that they're not, most of the time, you know that that person isn't up for no scam. So you should be able to feel comfortable with trusting them. I don't even want to be in the circle with anybody that does not trust me enough to introduce them to something that can change their life. And if they don't trust me that much, then we don't think alike, then we need not to be in the same type of circle.
Because I agree with you. I agree with you totally. I just push on to the next person, because when they start talking like that, just like you said, they're already closed-minded and you can't get through to them. So I just thought maybe it's another way, because I'll keep at it. but I don't want to hammer somebody and hammer them into something they really don't want to do. So for the most part, I'll just move on to the next person. So far, I haven't had too many pushbacks, but I am getting pushback on some people, and
Okay.
especially family people. They're the worst.
No, well, family never believes until they see you through it. Strangers will support you way faster than a family member will. You will
You're
see
absolutely
this.
right.
I see Nadra. If I said your name wrong, I'm completely sorry. Asked if these calls, will there be more calls like this? My goal is to do the calls once a day. So I probably will do one tomorrow at 5. I was gonna do one, switch it up and do it at a little bit 7 because I know some people are getting off at 5. So I'll probably do one again tomorrow. So if that answer, and this one is being recorded too.
Oh,
Okay,
it
well,
is. Okay. Thank you.
Jamila,
Yes.
Jamila, this is Danielle. I wanted to piggyback on what Mama Nita said. Most of the times when people think that something is a scam, it's because they've been involved in something and they got scammed or got burned really bad. So sometimes I do ask them, basically what happened. And then if they trust me, I let them know what I'm involved in. And if everyone works together and participate, it does work.
mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moto G Stylist had their hand up. I don't know. Did they have a question?
Yeah.
Time now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, and Jamila, thank you for having me and for this opportunity. My question is, when you get to the end and you have the option at the 63 to go out, what if you want to start over? So where exactly do you start? Back at the 100?
Yep, you start back at the 100. That is my goal, is for you to come off the board and come back on the board. I was a part of another group, and in order for you to even advance to the next level, they made you go back in on the $100 group. Each week you had to go back in on the level, like the one you were going back in, so it was a step up. If this wasn't, I didn't create this model. I believe in this model, and I just roll with this model. And because I got put in the yellow spot by Miss Ronita, my sister, I some days I'm like, why did she do this to me? But I know why she did, and now I'm stuck at the yellow. I follow the yellows, and because I am a hustler, and it's not all about the money for me, because I want you to win more than I want myself to win anyway. So I'm telling you, like, if you get off, actually, I'm just gonna be transparent with myself. I have a board. I was a yellow. My son, I used his name and I did another yellow. I have my name in 2 other spots on the boards. And guess what? The boards are moving slow this week, but you best believe those boards are going to close. Why? Because I felt like I got 4 kids, and each of those kids is going to college, and I want to start some accounts for them that will start doubling over. So by the time my twins are 18 and my son is in college, he got a choice. Do he want to really work for somebody, or do he really want to build his own? Because I've started him with a lifestyle that I didn't start before when I was his age. I don't want to bring them into a situation where they have to struggle. So I'm showing them now. So yeah, I'm on the board like 4 times. And if you can handle it, I wouldn't say stretch yourself thin, because if you go on that another board or you take another spot, you do have to have a person to go there with you on that board. But it's a team effort. Nobody is going to leave you by yourself. But as I stated earlier, you're going to find that there are some people who work harder than others. It's just what happens. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did, and thank you. It was very thorough. Okay, I got it.
Okay. Ron, go ahead.
Hey, Jamila, how you doing?
I'm fine. What's up, Ron?
Yeah, I would just like to say to everyone on the board, Jamila knows me very well. She know I'm a marketer. I'm an investor. And, I do a lot of things where I invest, money, a lot of money. This is got to be one of the least amount of money that I have put into something that you can get so much out of with everybody doing their part. And like I was telling someone yesterday, I said, you got to look at this like this. A lot of people don't even make 63.8 in a year on their job. And if you really want to think about it, you're not, tax ramifications. If you're not paying taxes, where can you make 63.8? That's just like making 100,000, taking a third of that out to pay taxes. It's a lot of money when you think about it. So it's not just throwing your money in something and saying, okay, I'm gonna step back and watch it grow. This is something that it works. It's been proven that it works. And I don't know how many of you guys remember back in the day in the 90s, friends helping friends. Can anybody? I know you guys going, wow, friends helping friends. And back then, I've always been about helping people, but that pretty much had kind of like put a bad taste in my mouth because you had people that was getting on board for split, and everything was done by paper. And you had people that was putting themselves in different places and collecting money and jumping off boards, and it became a big mess. Not without the understanding that if everyone did their part, everyone kept the integrity, it will work very well for everyone. This is not new. This has been around in different nationalities, and it works. I mean, putting kids through college, buying properties, and so forth. And I asked people, I said, the first thing I asked a lot of people, I say, what would you do if $63,000 were dropped in your hands? What would you do with it? And, I'm going to go buy cars, and I'm going to do this. Well, that's the wrong answer. The right answer is, hey, I'm going to invest it. I'm going to do this and that, and then I'm going to get on that board, and I'm going to invite others and help them succeed as well. That's how we have to look. This is everybody's responsibility. To me, this is not work. It's not. I'm a people person. I deal with a lot of people. We're moving the board very fast. We have a lot of, good people on the board, people I can trust. And the only reason, when we're talking to Susu stuff, I wasn't going to do it. But when I saw that Jamila was on it and she had sent me some stuff, I said, well, I know Jamila. Jamila has integrity. And then everything that she's doing, holding these meetings and all her time and stuff, we talk, after the calls and stuff like that. She's really putting her energy in it to make sure it's ran right. Now, she could be where she is right now, like she said. She's getting to the part where she can kick back and just say, you know what, I'm gonna just let it roll. But no, she's taking it to a point of, hey, I gotta see this thing through for everybody and make sure we don't taint this thing. And we don't want to be like the other boards. We want to make sure this thing is tight. And I was like, man, you thinking just like me? Because if I get involved, she know how I am. I even told my family, the ones who got in there, I got them into this because first of all, I love them. And then I want to see them make some extra money, that'll help them out. So at the end of the day, let's keep the integrity going. Let's make this organization on the board. Let's do it right. Let's make everybody a winner. And we want to have a good buzz out there. And thank you. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, so Ron that was speaking, he was the one that I was speaking of. His board has been flowing. I see that his board should close probably tonight. I have 2 more boards that I'm saying that they board are closed by Wednesday, and then we will probably work on those next 5. By the end of the week, I'm hoping that I'm manifesting that all the boards will be closed by the end of the week for us. I see Noni, is it Nona Chambers want to have a question?
Yes. It is Nona Chambers. First, I'd like to say to Ron, also, I would like to say I've spoken to several people who have been involved in, piggyback off of what Ron was saying, who have been involved in these back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then some that were involved this recently since COVID has started. And they are they've shied away because they've been burned. I know someone right now that's probably about $1,400 in different ones, and is really upset. So when I went to talk to him, I was like, nope, you know what? I don't even want, because I just wanted to get a feel. So how are your boards doing? You know, how are you doing in the boards? You know what? No, I don't want you. Don't tell me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Don't say nothing to me. So unfortunately, the people that I've spoken to are either have been burned or are being burnt right now. So
Can I, okay, so I know that because there's 33 people on this call, and I've spoken to some people on this call, and a lot of them have said either they were burnt or they was. I know people on this call that has put $500 in and been burnt. I know multiple people. I know people who have put $1,400 in and have been burnt. See, let me tell you why the system breaks. And this is the reason why they were burnt
is integrity or lack thereof, lack of integrity.
They have not integrity. They're required to bring 2 people to those boards. And when they hear money, they like, oh, I'm gonna bring my daughter in. First of all, you take care of your college daughter who don't have a job. So how are you gonna put your daughter in there with $1,400 if
that
you don't have
anything,
unless you're going to be able to bring? And when you bring that daughter in, guess what? If that daughter can't cover that $1,400, and then she's going to get her basketball friends from her college, they want to get on the board. They don't have $500. They don't got $1,410. They can't go to their parents and say, oh, I need $1,400. And guess the boards die when you do that. And then you say it's a scam. It didn't work. No, it didn't work because you didn't do it in a mature manner. What you did was get on the board, and either you thought that somebody was going to bring people in for you and you wasn't going to have to do anything, or you brought your family member in, or you brought Ray that just did the EDD scam in and said you about to make some money. Why would you do that? I would not bring anybody that I know that's doing sliders and looking for a quick buck. I'm not doing none of that, because what happens is you put everybody and you compromise everybody. Now, I'm not saying that there has not been a system where somebody has taken somebody's money and ran off with it, but before you get in there, you have to ask questions. One, know who you're dealing with, and I would never go on a board with somebody that I did not. If I didn't trust it, I'm not doing it at all.
Right.
Even when I did,
I completely agree.
Okay, so look, I lost money, but it had nothing to do with the person that invited me. You know what happened? I thought I had my ducks in a row. I thought I invited other people that can carry the $1,400, but they didn't do it. But because she had integrity, she came back and said, Jamila, I have something that's going to work. I know your situation. Your son is in school. You got to pay $7,000 by November something. Let's work this. That's where my goal is. So I'm not going to sleep. I'm up late at night. Most of you see me in these chat groups, and I'm up early in the morning. I'm sure y'all think I don't sleep. I do sleep, but my mind racing, because I'm like, I want everybody to see this through to the end. But I also want to make sure that my son can stay in school. He's 18, we're from Richmond, and everybody is dying. So if I don't do something to give him the opportunity to have the best life, he's going to be another statistic, because he's going to fall and he's going to go right there. He's going to want to do the fast money. So if we don't start changing the way we think for our kids, we're going to be the ones sitting back talking about, oh, and it's not that they were raised wrong. It's because they don't have any outlets and they don't have anything, or we don't show us. We say, go to school, get a job, get a degree, work for 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life for 40% of your pay, and then end up at Walmart as a Walmart greeter. I'm not doing it, and I don't want my kids to either. And it's sad because my mom is 65 and she doesn't own a piece of property and probably have debt all over, a slew of debt over her head. I don't want her to leave this earth without having something, even though we know not when our day is coming, but I want her to see what the good life really is without struggling. So if I gotta bust my butt for my mom to have it, because she's like, I'm about to go get another job. No, you're not. You just had a mild heart attack. Why are you going to go work? No, let's figure this out. So people have been burned, but it's because people's mindsets are corrupted.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, this right there.
Rhonda, good girl.
Yeah. So I just logged in. I've been logging in and logging out because I've been in and out of doing stuff. However, I'm glad we're on this subject for the people that are on this call. And a lot of people that I approach do say, no, that's a scam, that ain't gonna work. Or like you guys are saying, you've been burnt before. And I think one of the key things that people don't realize when it breaks down and when it happens is if you don't do the effort, if you don't do the bare minimum, it will. And I think one of the things, it will break down and you will feel scammed and all this stuff. But I think one of the things that people don't realize is when we say everybody bring one, that's everybody. Meaning, if I brought in my daughter, she has to bring in one. So then that means now I'm working to find her a one, but that one has to bring in one. Then that one has to bring in one, like a domino effect. A lot of people do this and they say, oh, I'm bringing in my husband and I brought my one. And then the husband never brings in nobody. So then we end up stuck. And then people like me and Jamila end up doing tons of work. For example, the $1,400 board, I brought Jamila in on that. However, she was literally the only person that brought in one more person. I brought in everybody else, and it got to a point where I could not bring in, when the board split, I had to bring in 16 more people to keep it going. Then it was like, if I worked and brought 16 people in, and then the board splits again, then now I got to find 32 people.
Wow.
But everybody is sitting back saying, I want to see it work before I bring somebody in. But it don't work like that. And I saw a quote the other day and I reposted it on Facebook and it said, broke people need to see something work. Millionaires just need an opportunity. And that's what this is. It's an opportunity.
It's a mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And unfortunately, there's more of us that don't have this mindset than there is that do. And if the ones of us that do have this mindset just put in a little bit more effort and work collaboratively, instead of it being one person trying to fill 3 boards, if we all just work collaboratively, this will work. We will all get to that 63,000. And then those other people that needed to see it happen will see, and then maybe we can do another round. But it only breaks down if somebody's not doing their part. That's literally it. And with this system, and not to say that there aren't scams out there, but the thing that I always tell people when somebody approaches that to me, I ask them, where do you see the scam? Because in a pyramid, there's one person who benefits at the top. This system, everybody gets paid at the same time. You're just on a different week. Some people are on week 2. Some people are on week 3. Some people, and that's how it works. And if they still feel a certain type of way, then they're not ready to be on the type of level that we're trying to reach.
Ronita, let me say that. So me and Ronita are on 2 separate boards.
Yep.
I've learned to accept that.
Right.
We would have rocked it out being on the same board together.
Yeah.
However, we both, our scheduled week was to be the 31st of October for us to be done. So it's been pushed back to, I believe, maybe the 1st or 2nd week of November.
Right.
For the 5 weeks to end. If these boards close this week, by November 15th, you all will see the 63,000. Like literally the money is flowing. I'm here all the way until I turn 40 on November the 9th. So I'm looking forward. This will be my birthday gift to myself. Not only that, I will be
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. So we just want to work. Somebody sent me a message about their child. I did my son's because I wanted another spot in the name. The money is not going to him because, if we send that amount of money to an 18-year-old, we have to kick their tail because they're not coming off the money. The money is coming back to me.
Right. No, my nephew would be just fresh to death, and that's it.
Don't. If you put an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old, somebody that's not really responsible, and even if you got an adult that's 40 and over that isn't responsible, put somebody else responsible back to help them.
I got a question when you guys finish.
Is that Lavita Roberts?
No, Nikita Williams.
Okay, Nikita Williams, because I know Lavita Roberts had her hand.
Okay, I'll go after her.
Okay,
Oh,
go ahead, Lavita
yes,
Robert.
yes. This is me. I'm also on. Well, I'm on two boards, but this is in another group, and I put my money in thinking I was going to get water, which the board has stalled. The board stalled because a lot of people that goes into these things, they are supposed to re-gift, and a lot of them don't. They get their blessing and move on, which makes the board stall.
Right.
And
Which
I
is
was
so
like,
selfish and small
yeah,
minded.
it really is. Because, I had came up with the thing. I said, sometime on these type of boards, it ought to be an automatic re-gift. Just
Mm-hmm.
take what, like we getting the 800. If you take the 500, it's going right back in there. Because a lot
Right.
of people are not going to re-gift. Because a lot of people that's not used to money,
They don't.
They,
they,
Lavita,
they,
you
they'll
know what
take
we
it
do?
and they'll
Right.
run.
We try to
Now,
pull
if you're
that
used to
person.
money, you're not going to take it because you're trying to gain more as you go along.
Right. Right.
Vita, so what we're trying to do, and it doesn't always happen, but if you're
Right.
7, you have 8 people that need to pay you. So if
Uh-huh.
you notice on any of my boards, if somebody put in the room to add me to the group, they're telling me where to put the people. So that means we're filling up their 8 spots. You know
Uh-huh.
exactly who that person is that's supposed to
Yeah.
pay you. That's the same person that's paying you for the next 5 weeks. It ain't gonna be a new person. So
Right.
you're gonna know when they board close. So typically you let a day go by. Then you say, "Excuse me, where's my free gift?" I know you. So, and I don't mind
Yeah.
asking, like, this is how, because if they don't re-gift, if you on my board and you don't re-gift, if you keep that money,
Right.
we're gonna sell you. We gotta sell your spot because the board still gotta go, but you will never be able to cut. Don't even tell me with another name because you won't
oh,
be able to get.
That's
right.
that's
Oh,
exactly why I put two
Right.
responsible people, because I brought 2 people in. So I
Nice.
put those 2, which is my daughter, who's very responsible. She likes money. She owns
Yes.
her own property. My auntie
Nice.
lives in Arizona. She owns her own property and she likes money. So I put 2 people responsible in. And when I'm
Good.
able to talk to, I have 2 or 3 other people in mind, but I have to bring like-minded people in that's responsible and get it.
mhm.
Because it's a process as it goes along. It's not just, and
Right.
you have to know and trust the process and just be patient with it. Because
Right.
sometimes it's not going to go our way. We still have to be patient with it.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
that,
What is the lady name that just that she wanted to?
Nikita.
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 Yes. Hello, everybody. I really enjoyed the call. I was on
Hello.
BART, so I missed part of the, not that I missed it, I just didn't see it, but I had a question as far as being on the board. If once I'm on the board, how many people do I need to bring in? And that's what I'm trying to get. I bring in the 1 and they bring in 1, but how many levels is it? So I know those many amount of people that I would have them to have they +1.
It's not really levels. We have a board that needs 56 spots that need to be filled. So if everybody does a part and they bring one, they bring one, the board gets filled. Once the board is filled, you're gonna be with the group of core 7 and the board is going to split. Now the board, when it splits, you're not gonna see any of those people but the 7 people that's in your 6 people that's in your core 7 plus you to make 7. That board now has to be filled. So your people probably may end up having to bring another person, but by this time you didn't gave the money. Now it's your turn because you gifted your weeks for being paid is about to start happening. So what happens is we put you in a group. We tell you to start inviting people to the group, and if you just get them in the group and invite them and let them see the material, we're gonna have these calls every day this week. This week I'm gonna do them every day this week. I'll do them at 5. I'll probably do one at 5 and one at 8. Pacific Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock at Eastern Standard Time. If there's anybody on here from Eastern Standard Time, that gives me time to go to any other calls that I need to do. 5 and 8, that's 3 hours apart. And it sounds hard and it looks hard, but these boards could be filled in a week.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like if I know I have 8 people in mind. So that's
Bring them
what I
on
was
now.
saying. Yeah, you know, and it's like you said in the beginning, and like Ron said, hey Ron, how you doing? Is that they have to be mature minded, and they have to just let that process, because you know you got people that throw away $100 just sitting at a bar. So the whole thing about it is free money. Do your money and do your ad, and make sure the people that you add, like you said, the skimming and scammers, those are people that don't have no money.
Just know it's your name, your name,
Don't-
your character, your integrity. So if you bring somebody that burns somebody, just know that
That's
you
right.
have to live
That's
with that for the rest of your life. And if you've been invited by Ron, God bless y'all. I don't want to be a part of how that conversation goes. I don't.
Oh no, I just know Ron, but no, I'm invited by my cousin Angela Griffith.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
If you've been invited, I don't want to. I think Andre has a question. I don't.
Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Go, Mama Nita.
Can I say something? This is how I got involved in it. My daughter signed me up for it, and then she said, "Go to work, Mama." Okay, so this is how I get. But once I started working and bringing people in, I believed in it. And what I liked about it the most is that I'm helping somebody else. And this is how I target people. This is all about helping each other. As a Black person, this is getting together. We all helping one another. I didn't stop at
I just ordered some slow grills, so I got you some rice, and I got them some rice and chicken and broccoli. And I'm getting ready to go to my dad's real quick and then come back.
I can hear you already.
Oh,
Hello.
My boards are all split up. Do I need to join each one of those boards to continue helping him?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. That's the part I'm lacking.
You're in all of the boards. You're good.
Okay. All right.
I already did that. I did that. I put you in. Yeah, y'all already in the board. So if I know you, you in there already. You got it.
Okay, because one of the things is I truly believe in this. By the faith of God, I believe in this, and this is how I go. First of all, I'm not going to approach anybody that I know with something like this unless I trust. I trust it first. That way they'll trust me. And this is how I'm keep on going, because I'm filling up what I need to do. I'm going to keep on getting 1 + 1, 1 + 1 until there's no more spots to fill up. So I'm not going to just stop at those 8. I'm going to keep on going.
And I think that's what I wanted to reiterate what my mom just said to the question of how many people do you need to bring in. If everybody did their part, it would be everybody bring one, add one. But it's as many people as you can find, and just make sure that everybody that comes brings one. That's pretty much the thing. So if you only add one person, make sure the person that you bring understands they have to add somebody, and they have to tell that person that they have to add somebody. But you also have to remember, when the board splits, that's when you have to start the process again. So it's kind of like a 2-board process. You come in on a board as a fire, and you have to bring in one and fill up that board. Then you split, and now you're on your own board with a core 7, and you and those 7 people need to fill that board. So you have to remember those things.
I think let's get Andre, because I believe he has a call to go do soon. Let's see. Andre, could you go?
Yeah. You know, I'm just calling. I mean, I just want to just know, is there any testimonies on the line?
Any testimonies? I think this call, we have to go fish for testimonies from the people prior to. Maybe we can have Crystal for the next call.
I mean, is there anybody on the line that, I mean, you know.
I made it through, and I got my 100 and my 800, and I regifted.
Oh, hey, that's right. There you go. That's it.
I did. I got my money back, and I regifted.
It's working. And you know, yeah. I mean, we just have to deal with the right people.
Right. And me too. I got my money and I'm regifting. My mom got hers and she regifted. My husband got his, he regifted. My best friend got
See, that's what I'm talking about. Case closed.
Yeah, it's working. We just got to get to that 63.
Right, yeah.
Which, Andre, you have no problem, because y'all board is cracking over there. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a great team.
You do.
Yeah, and thank you, Jamila. Your call was awesome. It was awesome. It was
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other questions? Any questions? If there's no questions, I should see some of you in these groups. Put your little $100 under the pillow or save it somewhere so you can make sure that you go ahead and be ready to gift when it's time to gift. I will do this same call tomorrow at 5.
Okay. No. Did you offer me?
I don't know how to mute somebody.
Which one of these? Which one of these? Yeah.
She got
Okay, let me have
the
the
grilled and the fried, but then
Okay.
I could
Somebody is unmuted.
Somebody ordering food.
Yeah.
Y'all need to mute.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Heard anything to have
Thank you. Okay. I am totally sorry for that. Some people don't know how to mute their phones back when they. I'm gonna lock the to where you can't unmute, and I'm gonna actually go in order to where you have to raise your hand, because the unmuting yourself can sometimes draw the call out. And then yeah, I'm gonna start doing that too. I'm very meticulous when it comes to organization and organizing and calls being put together the right way. If you are interested, we're gonna love to have you. Know that you're not here by yourself. You have myself, Ronita, Anita. You have Ron, and you have the Andres, and you have a lot of other people who have the same mindset. We are here giving hope. I have acronyms all the time, helping other people every day. That is exactly what hope means. And we're trying to make sure people get out of the poor mindset of passing over opportunities repeatedly. It's time to get rich as residual income creates happiness. Take that money, invest that money. You can now be able to go flip a house if you want to. Learn about Bitcoins. That's what Andre and Ron and them do. That's an awesome thing to do. And let your money grow for you. Like, do something different. Show that even though we was not brought into wealth, that we can create wealth in the Black communities. And so until then, I will send out the recording of this Zoom, and I will reschedule and send out the invite for tomorrow, same time, 5 o'clock, and one at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening Pacific Standard Time. So I'll do 2. Until then, thank you for coming, and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You have a
Thank you,
wonderful night
Jamila.
too. Good evening.
You're awesome.
Thank you.